in light of the things that have happened nationally regarding protests and police brutality, it's brought up a lot about race relations. It's also brought up a lot of questions about the criminal justice system, and that's where I was hoping that perhaps the Safer Foundation could shed some light, especially given the history of your organization. So wanted to ask you some questions about your clients and your thoughts and observations in working with them. Feel free to jump in, whomever feels most comfortable to answer the question. But let me just start with an explanation of the mission for the Safer Foundation.
Okay, I can take that. Well, our mission is eliminating barriers that stand in the way of individuals with arrest and conviction records, really focusing on a holistic approach with that, focusing on employment, job training, education, behavioral health services, wraparound support, any of those services that we could provide to help make that transition from incarceration go smoothly for that individual. So really a continuum of workforce development, reentry services. Safer as an organization believes in second chances. And so we want to be there to open doors of opportunity for clients in need.
All right, and I should introduce you, Sue Davison and Arthur Bishop. Arthur working out of Chicago, where the organization is based. Sue is in the Quad Cities, and thank you again for doing this. So, Sue, this probably is a question for you. How many clients do you serve on an annual or monthly basis in the Quad Cities?
We serve on an annual basis about 500 individuals in our various programs.
And what is the percentage of your clients represented as a minority population?
We probably about, I would say on an average year, 70 to 80% of those we serve are people of color.
And that's where the reason I ask is because much of the criticism is that there's a disproportionate number of people of color who are in the correction system. Is this the trend that you have seen as well?
We would definitely see that trend, and that's laid out in our Born to Bear in our numbers. When you consider, that 70 to 80% of the individuals we serve are people of color, but are only, much less represented in the general population. So we definitely see that as a trend.
And when it comes to trying to reintroduce these offenders into society, how successful are you? What are the challenges?
Well, the challenges, of course, are just the lack of opportunities. When individuals are released, sometimes they are facing homelessness. I mean, housing is the first issue that many of these individuals face. So it's very difficult to, get the stability you need to start working and to put the supports in place that are needed if you don't even know where you're going to be sleeping that night. So housing is a major challenge that we face. Many of the people that are coming out are homeless, so we do have to work on those avenues. And so coming to Safer, they're able to focus on career training, linkage with employment. We do have several federal programs, Department of Labor programs. We'll be starting a new Department of Justice program that are really focused on not just linking individuals with employment, but really linking them with a career that's going to provide a livable wage for them. And we've been very successful at that, of working with various partners in the community to get that training that our folks need, and really focused on high demand, high growth sectors. And many of those, areas that are growing, like manufacturing, construction, technology, healthcare, all of those areas that we know if we provide training and can help, link those people with that training, that we're going to have some success.
So to be honest, have you ever run into difficulty placing minorities versus Caucasians?
Well, I think overall there's just difficulty because of the nature of the arrest and conviction record. So I don't know that we've ever encountered that we would know of. We've never had blatant, but certainly, you cannot measure that implicit bias, or, that people have underneath. So how many of our people have not been accepted because of the color of their skin? That I don't know. We don't have any statistics on that, but we certainly, know that there is a bias coming out from many employers about accepting people that have been justice involved in the past.
And some may assume that a criminal past comes from a past of poverty, creates desperation or strong desires that may lead to, say, gang participation or drug trade. So when you have to try to place offenders, what has been your experience in terms of trying to get your clients on the right foundation or a new foundation from where they started?
Yeah, there is just a lot of obstacles. And one thing that we really need to recognize as an organization is that a lot of the individuals that come to us have experienced a lot of trauma in their backgrounds. They've had a lot of adverse childhood experiences. We have to look at it through those lens as, not looking at, what's wrong with you, but really looking at, what's happened in this person's life. What adversities have they faced? What trauma have they faced? And to try to really get at the root cause of that trauma in their background, and to really form that trusting relationship with them, so that we can get some good work done. But the relationship is everything, I think, in working with individuals.